Welcome everyone to our first AEW predictions video, where I predict what happens tomorrow night at AEW's All Out. So up first on the buy-in, we have Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express versus HFO, Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2. I'm not very excited for this match, but I do think it'll be interesting having a 5-on-5. We haven't had many of those. We've had the Dark Order versus the Elite, and I can't think of any others off the top of my head. So this is going to be interesting to have. And getting into my predictions, I'm going with Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express to pick up the win here on the buy-in. So starting off our main show, we have the Women's Casino Battle Royal. And I am very interested to find out who the Joker will be. People are speculating it probably will be Ruby Soho, aka Ruby Riott. But I don't know, what if it's Lana? Like, no one is saying it could be Lana. Like, if Lana debuts in AEW, they're all saying it would be with Miro. Which makes sense, but like, why would she do that again if it didn't work out in WWE? I mean, her best run was when she went singles. It's not my favorite run, but it's the best run she had. She had actual title matches. And so I think Lana would fit very well in AEW as a single star. But I'm getting off track. Who do I think it'll be? I think it'll be Ruby Soho. I'm going to put my money on Thunder Rosa to get the victory in the Casino Battle Royal. So up next, we have Paul White facing off against QT Marshall with the Factory in his corner. I am not very excited for this match, but I am very interested to see what Paul White can do at his age, because it's been a while since we saw Paul White in action. And so I'm very excited to see this, and I'm going to go with Paul White getting the victory against QT Marshall. I don't have very much to say, so let's just move on. Up next, we have Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. I have no idea why they're fighting at the pay-per-view, but I am very excited for it. Knowing the star power of these two men, they will tear the house down. I am very excited for these two men to collide at All Out, and my prediction is that Jon Moxley will pick up the victory. I would say more, but I have no idea what's going on. Just want to let you guys know, Andrade versus Pac has been rescheduled to this week's AEW Rampage. Kind of disappointed that it wasn't at All Out, because I felt they could put on a bigger, better match at the pay-per-view. But at least we're still getting it. And since it was supposed to be on the card, I'll just give you my prediction for Rampage. So I'm going with Andrade El Idolo to pick up the victory against Pac this Friday at AEW Rampage. So getting back to the actual show, All Out, up next we have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Chris Stittlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. I am very excited for this match. Britt Baker and Chris Stittlander are two amazing performers in the ring, and I think they can put on one great show in the middle of the ring. And I think Britt Baker will come out on top, probably with the help of her girls gang. I don't know what to call them. But, yeah, I think Chris Stittlander will not get the AEW Championship right now. I feel like she will get it in the future, though. That is for sure. If she does not get it here, she will get it in the future. But I am going with Britt Baker to retain her title. So up next, we have the final fight between MJF and Chris Jericho. And if Chris Jericho loses, he'll never wrestle in AEW again. So I believe this story has been going so perfectly. I've had a great time watching it, especially the labors of Jericho. I mean, in the middle there, it seemed like it was dragging around Double or Nothing, but it's picked back up, and I'm really excited to see this. I believe they'll put on an amazing show. I think Chris Jericho will pick up the victory, defeating MJF, keeps wrestling in All Elite Wrestling, and this rivalry will finally be over, and hopefully MJF would go to, like, the world title picture. But my final words before I move on is Chris Jericho will pick up the victory. So up next, we have Miro putting his TNT Championship on the line against Eddie Kingston. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for Eddie Kingston. Doesn't even matter if he wins. Just putting Miro to the max would just be great for Eddie Kingston's singles run in AEW, and I am very interested to see what goes down. But I think Miro will pick up the victory, defeating Eddie Kingston and retaining his TNT Championship. But Eddie Kingston will do great things. I think the main focus of this match is to keep Miro as champion, but make Eddie Kingston look strong, like super strong. That's what I think they should do. Make Miro retain, but keep Eddie strong. And so I'm going with Miro to retain. So up next, we have the Young Bucks defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Lucha Brothers in a steel cage. I am incredibly excited for this match. This may even be match of the night in just athletic ability, because if you do not know, Rey Fenix is a high-flying master. He can tight walk the ropes and do a Canadian Destroyer through an announcer's table. Like, my God. Just get that image in your head. Tight walking the ropes. Canadian Destroyer through the announcer's table. And just, it's absolutely amazing. I bet you couldn't do it. No offense, but I bet you could not do that. Like, it's just insane what he can do. And just imagine him walking the ropes, jumping off the steel cage onto the Young Bucks. This is just going to be an absolute brawl, and I am very excited to see it. But getting into my predictions, I'm going to go the Young Bucks retain against the Lucha Brothers here at All Out. So up next, we have our AEW World Championship match between Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Now I know, if this match is anything like the match they had at Rampage, it's going to be a good match. And I think it's going to be better than just a good match, because it's on a pay-per-view. And if wrestling has taught me anything, it's that the pay-per-view matches are always better than the stuff you'd get on Dynamite. That's why I'm disappointed that Andrade versus Pac was on Rampage instead of All Out, because I felt like with the bigger spotlight, the bigger show, they would have put on a bigger and better match. And so that's how I feel with this match. They're going to put on a bigger and better match than what they did on Rampage. And so I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing match with Kenny Omega picking up the victory against Christian Cage here at All Out.
Darby Allen! You're the first on the list. I'm going to help you because you're a daredevil and you like danger. Well, Darby Allen, there's nothing you can do that is more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk. Except wrestling CM Punk in Chicago. I will see you, and I'll see Sting, and I'll see all of you September 5th at All Out.
And finally, we have CM Punk's first match in 7 years against Darby Allen. This is the match we have all been waiting and waiting and waiting to see for 7 long years. But now we're finally getting CM Punk's first match back in wrestling. And it's against a man who can easily put on a show, no sweat, Darby Allen. I am very excited to see this match. CM Punk saying that Darby Allen would have been his favorite wrestler back when he was 15, and Darby Allen coming back and saying that CM Punk was his favorite wrestler when he was 15. This is just an absolute great story, and CM Punk being back is just absolutely just warms my heart, and I'm very excited to see this match. But getting into my predictions, I'm going with CM Punk getting the win here in Chicago, Illinois. Fans going wild. CM Punk, cult of personality playing just like Money in the Bank 2011 all over again. CM Punk going through the crowd. CM Punk getting the victory. Comment below your predictions. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace!